Your alarm goes off at 4:47 a.m. You don't hit snooze. You never hit snooze. You shower in 3 minutes, dress in the dark, and you're out the door before your coffee finishes brewing. You drink it anyway, lukewarm, standing over your kitchen sink, watching the city below still sleeping. You used to think that was power, getting up before the world, seeing the dark while everyone else sees nothing. You're 23 years old. You have a finance degree from a school your parents still brag about at dinner parties. You have $80,000 in student loans and a one-bedroom apartment in Midtown that costs more per month than your father made in a year when he was your age. And you have a job, not just any job. You're a trader at one of the biggest investment banks on the planet. You take the subway, not because you can't afford a cab, but because the firm doesn't reimburse personal travel, and every dollar matters right now. You push through the turnstile, you squeeze into a car packed with people going to jobs they hate, and you tell yourself you are different. You tell yourself you are one of the chosen ones. The trading floor hits you like a wall when the elevator doors open. It's 6:15 a.m., and the room is already alive. Hundreds of people, dozens of screens per desk, numbers scrolling, phones ringing, Bloomberg terminals glowing in every direction. The noise is something you can feel in your chest, a low constant hum of urgency. Your desk is in the middle of it all. 8 screens, 2 keyboards, a headset you'll wear for the next 12 hours. You sit down, you log in, you start reading. This is the part nobody tells you about. Overnight, while you slept, Tokyo moved. London opened. A central bank in a country most people couldn't find on a map made a quiet announcement about interest rates, and that announcement rippled through every bond, every currency, every commodity on Earth. You have to know all of it before the opening bell. You have 45 minutes. You read fast. The market opens at 9:30 a.m. The first few minutes are chaos, pure, electric, screaming chaos. Prices move faster than logic. You watch a stock gap up 3% in the first 60 seconds, then reverse in full 4. You've seen people lose their entire day's P&L in the opening minute. You've seen people make it too. The trick, your mentor told you on your first week, is to do neither. Survive the open. Stay flat until the noise dies down. You stay flat. By 10 a.m., you start to find your rhythm. You're running a book of equity derivatives. Your job is to buy and sell options, managing the risk in a portfolio worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The math is constant. Greek letters run through your head like a second language. Delta, gamma, theta, vega, position limits, hedging ratios. You are not betting on whether a stock goes up or down. You're betting on how uncertain the world is about whether a stock goes up or down. It sounds complicated because it is. Your phone rings. A client, a big one. A hedge fund out of Greenwich that moves enough volume to shift markets if they're not careful. They want to sell a large block of options, more than you'd normally take. Your risk limits say no. Your boss, who is standing 3 feet away watching everything, says nothing. He just glances at you. That glance says something. It says make the trade. You make the trade. You move on. Lunch doesn't exist. Not as an event, not as a break. Someone drops a sad desk salad near your keyboard around 12:30, and you eat it without tasting it while staring at your screens. You drink your 3rd coffee. You don't feel it anymore. The afternoon is slower, then suddenly fast again. A rumor moves through the floor. Just a whisper at first, then louder. An earnings report from a major tech company is going to miss estimates. You don't know if the rumor is true. Nobody knows if the rumor is true, but the market is starting to move like it's true. And if the market moves like it's true, then it becomes true, whether or not it was true to begin with. That's the thing about financial markets nobody teaches you in school. Sometimes the belief creates the reality. You adjust your positions, you hedge your exposure, you watch the number at the top right corner of your screen, your daily P&L, your report card, the only thing that truly matters on this floor. It ticks up, then down, then up again. You exhale. The closing bell rings at 4 p.m. You don't leave. You spend the next 2 hours reconciling trades, writing up your risk report, explaining your positions to the risk desk, arguing with operations over a ticket that didn't match. By 6:30 p.m., your desk is quiet. Most people are gone. You stay because you haven't finished, and because leaving early feels like a weakness, and because you're not sure who you are outside of this building anymore. You walk out into the evening. The city's different now. People are having dinner, laughing, living their lives. You feel strangely detached from all of it, like you're watching it through glass. You made money today, real money, for the firm, for your client. You moved numbers on a screen, and somewhere, somehow, that mattered. At least that's what you tell yourself. You get home at 8 p.m., you eat something you shouldn't. You open your laptop, you check markets in Asia, you set 3 alarms for the morning, you lie down in your clothes because it feels wasteful to undress when you'll be dressing again in 7 hours. You close your eyes. You think about the trade you made at 10:15, whether it was right, whether you got lucky or good, and what the difference is. You think about your P&L, positive today, but the month is close. Q4 is close. Your bonus is tied to how you finish the year, and you have done the math 100 times. If the market does what you need it to do, you could clear $300,000 in your first full year. maybe more. You think about what that number means, what you'd do with it, the apartment you'd move to, the calls you'd make to your parents, the way people from your hometown would look at you. You fall asleep thinking about money. Weeks pass, then months. You get better, frighteningly better. The screens start to feel like extensions of your own nervous system. You develop instincts you can't fully explain, a tightening in your stomach that tells you something is off before your brain catches up. You start making real calls, not just executing what your book demands, but actually reading the room, reading the tape, finding edges nobody else sees. Your P&L grows. Your boss starts to treat you differently. Not warmly, not exactly, but with a kind of watchful respect. He invites you to a client dinner. You go. You wear the suit you bought 6 months ago on your Amex card before you had the money to pay it off. You eat food you can't pronounce and drink wine that costs more than your monthly grocery bill. And you say the right things to the right people. And by the time dessert comes, you've helped close a mandate worth 8 figures. In fees to the firm. You drive home in a black car the firm pays for. You look out the window at the city and something shifts. You start to feel it. The seduction of it. Not just the money, but the feeling of being close to the center of something enormous. Markets move because of people like you. Currencies shift because of people like you. A company's ability to raise capital, to build factories, to hire workers, to exist, depends in some small way on people like you deciding what things are worth. That's the story you tell yourself. The story gets easier to believe when your bonus check clears. Your second year, things get bigger. Your risk limits expand. The positions you run are larger. The clients are more demanding. The hours are the same. The stakes are different. You stop double checking your math as much. You stop asking questions you used to ask. You trust yourself in ways that feel earned and in ways that might not be. One afternoon in October, you take a position that breaks your risk limits. Not by a lot, just enough. You've seen others do it. Everyone does it when the trade is right. You know it's right. The numbers line up. The thesis is clean. You put it on and you watch it. For 2 hours, you're right. Then a news headline hits a wire in Europe. Something you didn't model. Something nobody modeled. The position turns against you faster than you've ever seen a position move. You try to get out. The market is thin. You can't get out fast. By the time you've unwound, you've lost more in an afternoon than most people make in a year. You sit there. The floor is loud around you. Phones ringing. Screens scrolling. Life continuing. Your boss walks over. He doesn't yell. Yelling would be better. He just looks at you and looks at your screens and says 4 words. Get flat. Go home. You go home. You sit in your apartment in the dark. You don't lose your job. The loss was large, but the firm is larger. These things happen. You get a formal warning. You get pulled off one product. You spend 3 weeks in the penalty box, running smaller positions, rebuilding trust, rebuilding your numbers. Every morning you come in and sit down and log in, and the number at the top right is still red from that day. You work until it's black again. 3 months later it is black. Growing. Your instincts are sharper now. Sharpened the way things only get sharpened by real consequence. You are careful in a way you weren't before, but careful doesn't mean cautious. You are precise. You are deliberate. You are very, very good at your job. You make it through the year. Your bonus clears. More than you'd imagined in your first week on the floor. You call your parents. You pay off your student loans in a single transfer on a Tuesday morning, and you sit there for a moment after you hit confirm, not feeling what you expected to feel, which was triumph, but something quieter and stranger, like a door closing behind you. You put a down payment on an apartment, and here's the thing they don't teach you. Here's the thing that takes years to understand. The money doesn't change the hours. The money doesn't change the way the alarm sounds at 4:47 in the morning. The money doesn't change the salad at your desk or the 3 coffees or the weight of the number in the top right corner. The money accumulates and the life stays the same. And at some point you look up and realize you have built yourself a cage that is lined with gold and the door is open, technically. But you don't walk through it, because who are you without the screens? Because what else do you know how to do? Because somewhere along the way, the market stopped being a place you went and started being a place you lived. Your alarm goes off at 4:47 a.m. You don't hit snooze. You never hit snooze.